Yay.
Just getting YouTube started.
Okay.
And we don't have anybody in the waiting room, so I think we're ready to go. Thank you so much for coming tonight, Mrs. Mossbacker.
Oh, I am so thrilled. I signed up for this months ago and the night's finally here. Hi, village friends. How are you? You can wave. I recognize some faces. All right, so I'm going to get started with, I put down one title, if anybody checked the sheet, called Goodnight Sherbert, and there's a little history about it. So this book was given to me when I was your age that you are in village. Maybe I was 6 or 7. This was my book that my mother had to read to me, not only at bedtime, but every time she tried to put me down for a nap. So I dug out through the hope chest and finally found it. So I'm going to read to you tonight my childhood book called Goodnight Sherbert. And then I'll have a second one. So everyone sit back, get settled, and away we go. Here's our title. Goodnight Sherbert. Is that good? Okay. Is that good? Oh, there we go. I'll shift. Uh-oh. Better? There we go. Once upon a time, there was a kitten named Sherbert because he was orange. Also, it was long for Herbert. He took a cat nap. In fact, he took many cat naps. He did this best of all. Sometimes he napped on the fence. Sometimes he napped in the window. And very often he just napped sitting up. He dreamed of many things, bright, fluttering moss and a ball of twine and angel food cake. Once he dreamed about himself disguised as striped Sherbert, feeling fierce as a tiger and frightening little bunnies. Today's dream was about tomorrow. It went like this. Tomorrow he would build a mountain, not of buttons, they were too slippery, not of cricket tails, they were too scarce, not of eggs, they were too mysterious. Not of bees, they were too dangerous. And certainly not of ice cream. Sherbert would build his mountain of flowers, red flowers, pink flowers, orange flowers. The world was full of flowers if one knew where to find them, and Sherbert did. The posy patch was beside the fence. He would tiptoe in and pull up all the flowers. He would put them together in a mound. Higher and higher until it became a real mountain, but kitten size. He would call it Mount Sherbert. Oh, what joy. He would roll in it. He would pounce in it. He would sniff it. He would worry it. He would do everything but climb it. And last, he would just sit among the posies and purr a very loud and happy purr. But when tomorrow came, Sherbert did not tiptoe into the posy patch. He didn't pull up all the flowers. He didn't build a mountain. He was so tired from dreaming that he just took another cat nap. He did that best of all. Good night, Sherbert. There you go. Put me to sleep every time. Oh, thank you. All right, now moving through the years, when I have two little girls that are now grown up, their favorite book was Goodnight Moon. I read this book many times, so sit back and enjoy Goodnight Moon. In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon. And there were three little bears sitting on chairs. And two little kittens and a pair of mittens. And a little toy house and a young mouse. And a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush. And a quiet old woman whispering, hush. Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light in the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens. And good night, mittens. Good night, clocks. And good night, socks. Good night, little house. And good night, mouse. Good night, comb. Good night, brush. Good night, nobody. Good night, mush. And good night to the old woman whispering, hush. Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. Good night, moon. Worked every time.
Those are perfect books for Goodnight Griffins. I feel like you knew that book by heart. You didn't even need the words.
No, I really didn't. I read it a lot of times with two of them, and I had to sing it a little bit.
Oh, there's a song?
Well, when I sang it, I had to, good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. If I didn't sing it long enough, I had to reread it.
Thank you.